Different youth organizations in the 5 southeastern states of Nigeria, under the auspices of Coalition of Southeast Youths for Buhari, has staged a solidarity march in support of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in Abuja. Receiving the groups at the Supreme Court entrance of the State House, Abuja, Special Advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, thanked the group for proving critics wrong that the Southeast is not in support of this administration, describing their move as a step in the right direction.
The fact that a coalition of youths from the Southeast region has come to have this solidarity rally for him is very significant, because some mischief makers always say that the Southeast region is not with the president. That is not true. So we know that every part of this country approves the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. Last week, youths from the South region were here to also show their solidarity with him. This gives us confidence that no matter what anybody does, no matter the antics of people who plot in mischief, Nigeria will remain one.
The spokesman of the president also used the medium to assure the youths that the president will not withhold from the region anything that is accrued to them, either in infrastructure development or in appointments.
I want to thank you very much and assure that this letter will get to him. All the things you have said there, including the demands he will see. And I also want to, on his behalf, promise that the Southeast will get its due during the time of President Muhammadu Buhari. The roads in the region will be fixed. The second major bridge will be done. Everything, infrastructure, positions, offices, all that the center needs to do for the region, the Southeast region will get its own fair share.
Speaking earlier, one of the conveners of the group, Mr. Steve Anyata, said, the Solidarity March is intended to counter some other groups who are bent on discrediting or undermining the office and efforts of Mr. President at all costs.
We are pledging our support to Mr. President and to his all-embracing development agenda for the nation. We use of the Southeast geopolitical zone under the auspices of the coalition of South Youth for Buhari, COSIB, which comprises several youth groups across the 5 states of the Southeast, had in our meetings of August 6 and 13 decided that we organize and convene a rally of this nature. We, however, did not reckon with the fact that before we took our date for today, the president will be back. We thank God that we have our president with us. Our rally was principally intended to provide us with an open platform to, as a bloc, that the Southeast youth counter the inhuman demonstration by a handful of sponsored elements calling for the return or resignation of our dear president, who was then undergoing his medical vacation in the United Kingdom. We intended also to drum the total solidarity and support of all of our own from the Southeast to come and support the president, because we reckoned at that point in time that the nation was going through trying times, occasioned by his sad but fatherly absence. We also intended to achieve through this platform, the platform of this rally, the opportunity to say a word of prayer for the president and to give back our loyalty as members of the Southeast Central Political Zone to His Excellency the President.
The group, who marched from the Unity Fountain to the State House Gate, were chanting different songs in support of President Buhari. It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari just returned to the country last Saturday after his medical vacation in the United Kingdom. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejirogene Fifen for Ben Television.
Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has put the minimum cutoff mark for admission into Nigerian universities to be 120 as against 180 as earlier speculated. The decision for the cutoff mark came at JAMB Education Stakeholders Policy Meeting on admissions to tertiary institutions in Nigeria for the 2017-2018 academic section in Abuja. JAMB Registrar Professor Isaac Oloyede, while announcing the cutoff mark, said those in polytechnic and colleges of education have a cutoff mark of 100 to admit students.
University cannot, but degree awarding, sorry. Because when you say university, there are colleges of education that are awarding degrees. There are even seminaries that are awarding degrees in affiliation with universities. Therefore, for degree award courses, the minimum is 120. That is what, even the man who changed his mind, he will only move from 140 to 120. That did not change anything. The minimum is 120 in JAMB. Agreed? It will be from 120, it changes from 180 to 120. From polytechnic is 100. And for colleges of education, the minimum is 100. For IEIs, it is 110.
Oloyede, who noted that about 569,395 candidates scored above 200 in the last unified tertiary matriculation examination in the last exercise, warned the institutions not to admit students whose admission is not confirmed by the board.
What does that mean? It means we have admitted these candidates illegally. Now they cannot go on NYC. Take 5,000 from every one of them and agree that they were legally admitted. Many of them did not take GTME exam. Many of them did not meet the so-called national cutoff point. Because if the colleges of education and polytechnics, if they go along with you and they agree with 5 credits, maths and English, 80% of the colleges of education, their classroom will be vacant. So they did what they thought they should do. Announce in Abuja whatever you want. We will do whatever we want in our college under the table. And that was what they were doing.
Minister of Education Malam Adamu Adamu, while pledging federal government commitment in improving standard of education in the country, reversed the decision taken by his ministry last year not to allow tertiary institutions conduct post-UTME before giving admissions to qualified candidates.
This has now forced me to revisit the issue and do a rethink on it. The decision on the cancellation of the UTME, as I told you, is a mistake. While it is not mandatory for any institution to conduct it, the Senate and Academic Board of each institution is hereby allowed to exercise its autonomy to determine the parameters for the process and selection of candidates in addition to using the result of the UTME.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanit.
Nanit?
Nanit offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanit, service with a smile.
A civil society organization, Say No Campaign Group, have demanded the repatriation of former Minister of Petroleum, Desiani Alison Madueke, to Nigeria to face corruption charges in the country. Convener of the group, Ezenwawago, made this demand during a press conference in Abuja. Desiani Alison Madueke, who served as Minister of Transport in 2007, Minister of Mine and Steel Development in 2008, and Minister of Petroleum Resources in 2010, have been accused by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, of allegedly diverting public funds into personal use.
Despite these rather damning allegations, Desiani is yet to be prosecuted. In fact, she has since dubiously maintained she is innocent and has challenged EFCC to prosecute her if they truly have implicating evidence against her. Unfortunately, 2 whole years into this administration that is reputed to have zero tolerance for corruption, it has only reported to have confiscated Desiani's $150 million and $37 million property, including deposits from rent, with no efforts up to today to indict her. Compared to what she is reported to have stolen, this is brazen. There is a brazen cry for justice. It has visited the masses owing to these outrageous allegations and many other suspected acts of wickedness and criminal misdeeds qualify Alison Madueke as a potential candidate of the Say No Campaign Corruption Hall of Shame that will be launched very soon.
The group noted that they have written to the United Kingdom and the United States of America requesting for the repatriation of the former minister to face trials in Nigeria on the grounds of allegations of gross bribery and corruption.
We call on the government of the United States of America and Britain to accede to Nigeria's request for Desiani Alison Madueke to face corruption charges in Nigeria in the burning interest of accountability, justice, and good governance. Government has to set mechanisms for speedy trial, and when she's convicted, not if, when she's convicted, ensure all parties involved take full responsibility for their crimes in the light of legal punitive provisions.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports. Former Director of Civil Society and Support Group during Goodluck Jonathan re-election presidential campaign, Professor Nick Eze, has revealed the reasons why his party failed in the last general election in 2015. Professor Nick, in an exclusive interview with Ben TV in Abuja, said his party was not campaigning to win, and it also failed to reconcile with aggrieved members of the party before the elections.
If a party fails to democratize its process, that party is doomed to fail. We are coming from the background of political high-handedness, impunity in office, abuse of process, and then undue favoritism. But amongst all, what kills democracy of PDP style was lack of internal democracy. So it started in 2013, was the latest, when the party had a mini convention and failed to allow its members to contest offices. Election is a contest. So when you want to go into election, you must allow party members to contest for positions. Party failed to reconcile aggrieved members all over the country. Okay, and then these aggrieved members, most of them opted for opposition arrangements. And then the remaining members were also engulfed by party high-handedness.
While answering questions on whether his party ran a corrupt government, which many Nigerians complained during the last administration, he said,
well, the issue of corruption by Nigerian definition, I don't agree. That definition of corruption. Look, we are running a corruption economy. does not mean that the average Nigerian is corrupt. No. I will explain it. I've given this topic. We run a corruption economy that we inherited from British system. And that is the system that we are running. It's called a corruption economy. But it works for us. Americans call it tips. You understand? But here we call it bribery. There's nothing like corruption. Because what is corruption? If a man has stolen money, he's simply a thief. You say he's corrupt. He's not corrupt, he's a thief. If he has embezzled money, he's a thief. It's not corruption. Okay, if you have done things that you are not supposed to do, there are names of every action you take. But here we have magnified these things and bring them under the umbrella of corruption.
Professor Nick, who spoke on the calls for restructuring, said the country should start the process of drafting a new constitution to address most challenges it's facing.
There have been attempts to amend the constitution at the National Assembly. I think there was one that was led by Senator Ken Namani. Then another one was led by Senator Ike. And then you have this one now. At every point you want to amend the constitution, people don't understand what you are doing. Let us amend this constitution. Let's leave this constitution as it is and begin a process of drafting new constitution for the country. Because some of the things contained in this constitution, we cannot amend them. They've been overtaken by events. Development has caught up with most things. So we need brand new constitution, leaving this one the way it is, start the process of making a new constitution that could be adopted through a referendum.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.